I'm Kent Mayor Dana Ralph, and I want to thank you for joining me for this special public safety update. Last week, the mayors of South County, myself, Renton, Federal Way, Auburn, Tukwila, Enumclaw, Black Diamond, and Pacific got together and we issued a statement. It's really sounding an alarm bell around what we're seeing in our community in the front of rising crime. You are all aware we're seeing crime go up when it comes to property crimes, stolen vehicles, and unfortunately violent crime and homicide as well. Not something unique to Kent, not something unique to South County, but together we have decided we have to do something about it. We have to call attention to it. And then even this week, the mayors of Des Moines, Covington, and Maple Valley have signed on to this media release that we did last week. Basically, what we're calling out is the fact that our justice system is exactly that. It's a system. And unless all of the pieces work together, then none of it works. So if you think about the legislature sets the laws. And so in the last couple of sessions, there have been what are called police reforms that have been put in place that make it exponentially more difficult for our officers to do their jobs. They're no longer able to pursue stolen vehicles. So your stolen vehicle goes by, an officer sees it, they can't pursue that. So we're seeing an increase in auto theft because it's hard to get caught for that. There were really good police reforms, and you've heard myself and the chief talk about that. There were things that needed to happen, but there are things that still are really causing problems as far as safety in our communities. In the statement, we talked about the Blake decision. The Blake decision is around illegal drugs. So I will tell you, I'm getting more and more phone calls from business owners, residents, that they're watching people use drugs in public. Well, at this point, an officer has to make 3 contacts with someone before any sort of legal action can be taken with that person. Person doesn't have to tell them who they are. There's not a system that actually exists to log these contacts. And my concern is it's not compassionate. Not only are we seeing people use drugs in public and in places where they just shouldn't be, but we're not able to quickly get them in connection with services. One of the ways that people are connected with treatment is through the court system, and that's not happening anymore. So we're seeing that public drug use as well as the outcomes of that, and that is an increase in property crime and things like that. We highlighted those issues. So that's on the legislative level. On the city level, the thing that we are responsible for is policing and staffing. Again, you've heard us talk a lot about the fact that we lost probably 30% of our police officers over the last couple of years. Variety of reasons, but really had a lot to do with just the climate here in Washington State. I am really happy to say we are hiring. We're hiring at a pretty good rate. So we're seeing that being built back up, but it takes time. When we hire a brand new officer, it's nearly a year before they're able to go out onto the street by themselves. So on the city front, we're working on addressing those staffing issues. Next level is the jail. When our officers do arrest somebody, there needs to be a place to take that person while they're waiting to see the judge. And we're having issues with jail capacity, the jails being closed, limited booking, all those kinds of things. Or we're taking a suspect in to be booked and they're not being held. They're turned around and sent back out. So that's the next step of the system. Final step in the system is really the judges. And there seems to be a significant lack of accountability there. We had an incident over the weekend where someone was in a stolen vehicle, rammed one of our police cars, and he had just been released by a judge on the 22nd of July out on what they call PR, personal recognizance. That person had multiple convictions and felony crimes, should not have been back out on the street, but was, and then was able to steal someone else's car and then try and inflict harm on our police officers. So it's a system. We have to have it working together from top to bottom. Legislature, cities, county, prosecutors, judges. We're not seeing that happen here in South King County or in King County at all. And my fellow mayors and I really wanted to draw attention to these problems because our job, our primary goal as your mayor is to keep you safe, to keep your property safe and your family safe. And we can't do that by ourselves. So the idea behind the letter was really to draw attention to where we're seeing issues in the system and come together and say, we want to stand with all levels of the system to make this better, to fix it. This experiment that we're living in, It's not working. It's not helping keep you safe. We have gone to an offender-focused system instead of a victim-focused system. And at the end of the day, we have to have restorative justice. We want people to not commit crime. We want to provide them with the tools to not have to do those things. At the same time, it is our responsibility to keep you safe, keep your property safe, and keep your family safe. While some say the criminal justice system is obsolete, it is truly the best system we have for keeping our community safe. It just needs to all be working together and all the pieces playing their roles. So if you get a chance, that letter is posted on our social media pages. Take a look at it. I would love your feedback. And then I would also ask for your assistance in working with our legislators, working with our county, our prosecutor, executive, and King County Council on making this system cohesive, work together, and do what it should, which is ultimately keep our communities safe. So again, I want to thank you for taking the time. Know that this is something that, as your mayor, I am focused on. Over the next couple of weeks, I will be bringing forward to council some changes to some laws here in the city of Kent that my hope is will at least help give our officers some additional tools to address these things that we can address that are within our control. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, they'll be coming in the next couple of weeks. Would love your input on those things as well. Know that we're not giving up. I am committed to keeping you safe. Our police department is here and committed to keeping you safe. Together, we're working on it. And again, want to say thank all my South County mayors for coming together to highlight these issues and to work on them. Thank you very much.